What is up guys, and welcome to today's video where we'll be having something to look at the winter upgrade prediction in the Premier League in FIFA 17. So I've got some of the list of players from the Premier League that have been playing well and who I think should get an upgrade or who I think EA would upgrade. I have also added like stats upgrade and stuff. So let's get straight into this. So the first three players we are going to have a look at is Antonio, Son and Mane. So let's start talking about Antonio. Now, he's been having such a great start. Now it's kind of like his scoring kind of form has been kind of down now, but he still is having a pretty decent season. As you can see there, he scored 5 so far, which is pretty damn impressive. He scored 8 last season just in like one half of the season, which is pretty impressive. I think he might be able to bang like, I don't know, at least like maybe 12 this season, so very looking forward to that. And then the next player is going to be Son. Now he's been elected or chosen as the player of the month in the EPL in the month of September. Now very impressive stuff from this guy. He's done so much for Tottenham so far. Now Tottenham is kind of dying down in form once again, but I'm pretty sure when Harry Kane comes back and when Alderweireld comes back, I think Son is going to go back to his scoring form. Now we're going to look at the next player, which is going to be Sadio Mane, and I think this is one of the best signings in the Premier League. That's why I have upgraded him into 82 rated from 79 since he's been doing absolutely amazing for Liverpool. I think he's one of the reasons why Liverpool is having such a good form. They're enjoying the win streaks and stuff. That's why I put him at 82. Now we're going to have a look at the next bunch of players, which is going to be Milner, Kante and Moses. Starting with Milner. Now he has moved this position to left back, and I just have to say that he's, in my opinion of like watching the games and stuff, I think Milner's doing pretty decent at left back. Definitely better than Alberto Moreno. Like Milner can literally play anywhere. I kind of do feel sorry for him though, because he moved to Liverpool just so he can play in the centre, and now he's playing defender. But I guess as long as the team's doing decent, I think Milner should be happy staying at left back. And we're going to move on to the next player, which is going to be Kante. And then this guy, I have upgraded him from 8 to 83 from 81 because I just think Kante is having an amazing season as well. Definitely not overpriced. He's kind of underrated. I don't think he's underrated anymore. A lot of people knows him, and a lot of people knows that he can do so much thing for Chelsea, and he did a lot for Leicester last season as well. And then we're going to have a look at play, which is going to be Victor Moses. Now I think this guy is doing absolutely amazing this season as well, especially with Conte's 3 at the back. Moses is enjoying a lot of form there. He scored a goal as well, which is pretty decent for him. And then Chelsea is having a very good season as well. I mean, they're coming forward, but they're in a good form, if you know what I mean. Then we're going to move on to the next bunch of players, which is going to be Rashford, Redmond and Shadley. Now starting with Rashford here. Now amazing player. He did absolutely amazing last season. He got upgraded to gold, which a lot of people thought it was like controversial. They thought he should be silver or something, but I absolutely think that he deserves it. He's doing well this season as well. In my opinion, I think he should start instead of Ibrahimovic as striker, because Ibrahimovic, he just lost his form. Like at the start of the season he was doing quite decent, right? And then Ibra just lost his form. He's not moving, his finishing is poor, just everything is kind of poor. Work rate is pretty poor as well. I think Rashford would be a pretty good choice for him, for Manchester United of course. And then Redmond, speaking of Redmond, apparently some of the media is saying that he might get chosen in the English team, which I think, well, he should, because he's in a very decent form as well, playing for Southampton. Looks like Southampton always get a good replacement for players that leave the club, which I think is really good for the club. I don't know who's like managing this kind of transfer thing, but whoever's doing that, he's doing an amazing job. And then we're going to move on to the next player, which is going to be Shadley as well, doing decent for West Brom. West Brom at the moment probably not in the best form, I just have to say, but Shadley is doing decent. He's getting some goals lately. He's getting some assists as well. He's having a decent season. We just have to say that. Left Tottenham, gone to West Brom, and then now he's having a good season. And we're gonna move on to the next bunch of players, which is gonna be Gundogan, Sanchez, and Diego Costa. Now Gundogan, a lot. I reckon, in my opinion, some people are going to say in the comments or something, Gundogan doesn't deserve it. But in my opinion, he's doing decent for Man City. He's definitely the player that they needed. He obviously played very well in last 2 games, which was the round I forgot which round, it's like round 10 of EPL and the Champions League against Barcelona. Gundogan has been absolutely amazing that game as well. That's why I put him to 86 rated. And then Sanchez as well, I think he definitely deserves an upgrade. Now for the high rated players, I just put an upgrade of 1 because I don't think EA is gonna just randomly give them a +2 upgrade. I don't think that's really gonna happen in it. So Sanchez is having a decent season for Arsenal. Arsenal is enjoying some good form. So is Chelsea. That's why I put him. Diego Costa there, top scorer of the Premier League with 8 goals. Looks like he's getting back in form, which is very good to see. And I'm gonna move on to the next bunch of players, which is going to be Hazard, Ozil, and Sterling. Now, so these players are very big players as well. They're doing very good. Starting with Hazard, he's definitely one of the main players of Chelsea. It's definitely one of the reasons why Chelsea is in such a good form. I keep saying that, so I will stop saying that. But Hazard definitely a big part. I think he's like EPL player power ranking 1 at the moment, I believe. And the Ozil as well. Now Ozil is in a scoring form lately. Like, the goal he scored in the Champions League, in the last Champions League match, it was absolutely amazing. Just chips the keeper, goes past 2 players. That only looks like an upgrade to me. Yes, he is already kind of high rated, but I reckon Ozil deserves it. And then we're going to move on to the next player, which is going to be Sterling, Raheem Sterling. Now, a lot of people said that he was a failure of a signing last season, but this season, he's getting back in form. He's doing what he's just doing like what he's best at, like basically. He was chosen as the player of the month in the month of August, which I think he kind of deserves it. And then like basically in form, he's doing pretty decent. Sterling he is on the right with Nolito on the left. I think Man City's attack is looking pretty decent. And then we're going to move on to the next bunch of players, which is going to be Stekelenburg, Van Dijk, and Heaton. I always cannot pronounce the Everton keeper's name. It is so hard. But anyway, speaking of the Everton keepers first, he's just having an amazing season as well. He's making a lot of vital saves. Just the player that Everton needed as soon as Tim Howard left. I think it's a very good replacement actually. In fact, I reckon he could be a little bit better than Howard. I'm not sure actually. It's only his first season for the club, so who knows what's gonna happen to him. And then Van Dijk as well. And once again, a Dutch player. And then start of the season, probably not the best form Van Dijk, but he's getting back in form, and that's why I gave him a +2 upgrade for Van Dijk, because he just completely deserves it in my opinion. He just scored a goal in the Europa League as well. And then the next player is going to be Heaton, who was chosen as the Team of the Week player just then, the latest one. I'm not sure which one it is because I just can't keep up with that kind of stuff, but he definitely deserves it as well. Made very, very decent saves in the last Premier League games as well. And then we're going to move on to the final bunch of players, which is going to be Stanislas Kalaba, or Kolaba, however you want to say it, and then Iwobi as well. So these 3 players, obviously I put them together because they're the silver players. And then starting with Stanislas, for Bournemouth, he's been pretty decent this season. Obviously, he did that 2 goals, 2 assists against Hull City, a bloody 6-0 win, which is absolutely huge. I expected that. I just didn't expect that happening, especially from a club like Bournemouth. So very good stuff from him. Definitely deserves an upgrade to 73. Kalaba, speaking of Kalaba as well, he was 68 rated before I upgraded him to 71 rated, and then Kalaba absolutely deserves it as well. I was going to put in Loftus-Cheek in there as well, but I didn't really want to add in too much of the Chelsea players, and I think Kalaba is going to get an upgrade instead of Loftus-Cheek, because, well, Kalaba, he's just doing amazing. His backheel assist for Moses, absolutely fantastic. Iwobi as well, speaking of Iwobi, he's getting a lot of assists this season as well, which is very, very impressive stuff for him. A very young player as well, which is very good for Arsenal. You know, obviously Arsenal is known for developing a lot of young players from their club, which is always good. And then we're going to move on to the final bunch of players. Now, I already said that before, but I just realized that now we got another final bunch of players, which is going to be Leroy Fer, Joe Allen, and Capoue. The 3 midfielders who knows how to score some goal. And I'm going to start off with Leroy Fer. Now, he plays for Swansea City, and Swansea City is in a bad form. And Leroy Fer bangs in some goal. Like, he just scores, which is important. I think he's like the top scorer of Swansea. I'm not too sure about that, so don't really mark my words. But I do think that he is the top scorer because literally no one else can score in the team, can they? And then we're gonna move on to the next player, which is gonna be Joe Allen. Now Stoke is kind of getting back in form, winning 2 games in a row in the Premier League. Now it's just Sunderland who's without a win in the Premier League, which is sad for them. But I think that's just gonna be like Aston Villa of last season, really. And then we're gonna move on to the next player, which is gonna be Capoue as well, who's been in decent form. He managed to score a lot of goals in the start of the season. Now it's kind of dying down, but Watford itself is doing pretty decent in the Premier League as well. That's why I do think that he's gonna get an upgrade to 79 rated, which is pretty decent stuff. Now, this is the older players that I'm going to mention for now, but obviously you guys might have some other ideas, which is absolutely fine because obviously I lacked some of the goalkeepers, I lacked some of the defenders. So if you have any ideas who I should add or who I should have added or who you think should get an upgrade, let me know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and goodbye.